Okay, this is Irene Smith, and we are back at. Hey, Merc!
Woof, woof, I smell chocolate in here.
Yeah, you just might.
Can I have a piece?
Sure, you're one of those special dogs that can have chocolate.
I can have chocolate.
So, listen, everybody who's watching,
Hmm.
leave a comment
Hmm.
for this video saying, you're a noisy chewer,
Can't help it.
saying chocolate for Merc.
Yeah.
M-E-R-C Merc.
M-E-R-C Merc.
So we're painting the last room that needs painting.
And you're out of paint already.
And oh yeah, look at that. We're out of paint already.
Wow.
So since the last video, I have finished the outside and done a little decorating here or there, which you'll see. We'll walk through it. And basically today we're going to do a walkthrough and then we're going to sell the property.
And I'm gonna leave
that's
now.
how it works. Oh,
Goodbye.
you going? Okay. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Merc.
Look, a door. I have to hit it.
Oh, my goodness. Merc, did that hurt your nose?
No, I used my butt.
Oh, well. Now, that's why I've got a butt mark on the door.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
Kathy,
So-
what are you doing in the hallway? I'm coming to see you. You always make such a loud exit.
Yeah, he does, doesn't
Yes,
he?
he does. Bye.
Bye. So don't forget, in the comments, chocolate for Merc. M-E-R-C Merc. Okay, so we've just about finished out here. Gotten rid of most of the leftover well, no, not yet. I shouldn't look away from this. We had a minor tragedy in that I forgot to turn the microphone on when I recorded this video. So I am doing this as we go along. Now, I've actually put windows in all these openings. These were just openings with archways in them. But I put actual doors, windows, whatever. And this is the kitchen. Obviously, you've seen it before. And I did put some stuff in the refrigerator. There's a head of lettuce and some peppers and milk and juice and a pie. And I forgot to show you the freezer. There's ice cream pops in the freezer. Anyway, we're going to paint the no, we're not. We're going to get a coffee maker. I got so annoyed at myself when I realized that I hadn't turned on the video recording, that audio recording, that I am forgetting what I said or what I talked about. I'm just glad that Merc came back, because we had done that the first time when I was recording. But obviously you wouldn't have heard it because I didn't record it. Anyway, some coffee cups for the coffee maker. I mean, what kind of a friend would I be, Mousy, if I didn't put in some coffee for us, right? And and I was saying when I was painting before that I was having troubles with the keyboard controls for painting. And it took me an awfully long time to realize that what I was doing wrong was standing too close to the wall when I was painting. So this was an experiment. I wanted to see if I could put a coffee cup actually on the coffee maker like it was ready to go. And it worked. So we already have a complete kitchen. We've got a dishwasher. We've got a stove. We've got all the other things that we need out here. And just rearranging things. You know, you would think that I was OCD, the way I move things around and arrange them. But in real life, I'm not like that at all. So, truthfully. Now, I mentioned before that I put the fireplace on a platform, and of course, probably carpet in front of it isn't necessarily the best idea. But we are going to paint the ceilings white because you'll notice, and we already have the white paint, you'll notice that there's some plain brick up there. That's where we filled in the hole in the ceiling. So we want to paint that and get it done. And yeah, I know this part isn't really all that exciting, but it doesn't take as long as it used to. I was saying the other day that I thought the painting was faster in House Flipper 1, but once you get comfortable with the controls, it's not so bad here either. It just took me a while to get my head around it. So we're going to paint the ceiling white. And then, well, then we'll go on to the next step. How's that? I honestly don't remember for sure what order I did things in. I'm sorry, I was so intent on making the recording that I never noticed that the lights on the soundboard were not lit up. So basically, what we had was silent film. So, should have bought a piano for this house. When I was a little girl, we used to visit my dad's mom. She was living in the Bronx still, and she actually lived in the basement of a house, and she rented out the upstairs because she figured she's only one person, and the downstairs was it was big enough for her. And actually, when I think about it now, she eventually moved to where I live in the city of Port Jervis, and she got a one-bedroom apartment. She actually had more room there than she had when she was in the house that she owned in New York City. And out of curiosity, I looked uh, a few days ago because I wanted to see what the front of that house looked like. I remember the inside, but not so much the outside. And I discovered that I think it was on Zillow, it was valued at close to $600,000, and I was thinking, geez, if only she had kept it. It wasn't a really huge house. I don't remember how many bedrooms the upstairs had, but she had created a studio apartment for herself in the basement, and it was just big enough. She had room for a couch, which she used as a bed. She had one of those beds couches that opens up into a bed, and she had the couch and her baby grand piano, because she was a piano player. I think I may have mentioned before. Now, this is my dad's mom's name was Irene. That's where I got my name from. And she was one of the last piano roll recording artists uh, before she married and had dad. And as I mentioned the other in Sunday's video, uh, Saturday's video, I'm sorry. As I mentioned on the video I published on Sunday that was recorded on Saturday, Dad would be 100 years old. And unfortunately, my father passed away at about 85. My paternal grandmother, Irene, lived to be 99. She lived a month or so past her 99th birthday, and then just didn't wake up one morning, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. She was pretty healthy right up until the end. If only I could be that lucky. So, need a little more paint. And once I've finished with these last few chores, I am going to do a walkthrough, and you'll notice I picked up the color just to make sure. I couldn't remember if I used white or just slightly off white. So I picked it up to be on the safe side and match up with what I had. Um, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, about her being one of the last piano roll recording artists. I have a copy somewhere that was sent to me of her playing the piano on a piano roll recording, and it's really kind of cool when you think about it. Um, and you'll notice that music kind of ran in the family. My dad was a drummer, and you know what they say about drummers, that they like to hang out with music. They're drummers because that lets them hang out with musicians. But anyway, um, he could actually play the piano a bit. Um, and my grandma, Irene, was such a good piano player that she was actually giving lessons to adults when she was a child. I don't know what that means by child in this case, but yeah, she was actually giving lessons to adults from a very young age. And she actually taught me a little bit about playing. My mother was also a piano player. She took lessons for most of her, I guess, from childhood to the time she graduated from high school and married dad. Um, and Piano is the reason my mom and dad met, actually. I don't know if I've told this story before, but my mother was, I don't know if she was still taking lessons, she might have been, but the local piano teacher was asked, they had a contest. All right, let me back up. The local radio station was opened in the year that my parents met, and that's why my father came to Port Jervis. He had been living in the Bronx before that. And he came to Port Jervis to be the manager and one of the disc jockeys on the radio station. And they had a contest when the station opened that the winner got to sing for 3 nights on the radio. And my mom's piano teacher was requested to accompany him on the piano when he did his singing. And she very kindly set it up so that she and her best 2 students got to play each one night. And so my father and mother's relationship started off when she went to the radio station to accompany this fella. I don't know what his name was. I've been told, but I never met him, so it didn't stay in my head. But anyway, at the station, she was getting things set up, and because they had a piano there, and my dad came over and introduced himself, but he called her by the piano teacher's name because he didn't know that the teacher's students were playing instead. And being, let's see, I think she was 17 at the time that she met him. And so she got kind of huffy about it. My name is, and she told him her name. And then she sat down at the piano, took a piece of music that she had never seen before, and started to play it. And my dad was very impressed by that. And he asked her if she'd like to have her own radio show, which I think is pretty cool. And she thought that he was making time and just hitting on her. So when they were done with the recordings or playing live, I forget which it was. How could I remember? I wasn't born yet. when it was all done, she just left and started back to Port Jervis. Um, and he sent somebody to chase after her and say, no, no, he really meant it. So, for the remainder of my mother's time in high school, until she graduated, she had a radio show twice a week. I think it was twice a week. That's not the important part anyway. The important part is she had a radio show where she would go and play piano, and she and Dad would talk, and and I guess they started dating at that time, which is kind of amazing when you think about it, because my mom was 12 years younger than my dad, which by coincidence is the same as the age difference between me and my husband. But anyway, there was a 12-year gap in age. And when my parents got married, my mom was 19 and my dad was 31. But they married and were married for a few years before I was born. But that is how it happened. They met at the radio station, which I think is kind of cool. And actually, my dad went on to work in various places, including the local newspaper. And there were actually two. There was one in Port Jervis called the Union Gazette, and there was one in Middletown called the Record. The Record is still around. The Union Gazette's kind of been folded into the Record, but anyway, so they and actually right after they were married, they both worked at the Record in Middletown. And when I came along, that was somewhat of a surprise to them. But there you go. Oops, there it is. Anyhow, I'm getting way off the track of what I'm doing here. So I've pretty much finished painting. And in a minute or two, maybe a few more, I'm going to take a short break and make one final decorating pass through the house. And then we are going to sell it and see what we can get. I think the house has come out pretty nicely. I like the I'm not totally nuts about the curtains yet, but I imagine that they're going to make it so that we can adjust the size of the curtains as well as the size of the blinds, and then it'll get better. But yeah, we're pretty well done with this house. We've got 2 bedrooms, and it's funny because it's a really big building. You would think that it would have more than 2 bedrooms, but it doesn't. Actually, I think I could probably have had a third. There's a room downstairs that well, you'll see it later, that I ended up not really doing much of anything with. But the one thing that I made sure to do was, as I said, to put windows or doors in all of the openings so that it's not open to the air. Can you imagine if it actually rained in this world? With this house all open the way it is, everything would be ruined. Although in House Flipper 1, it could rain into the house and it never really ruined anything. So there you go. It's magic rain. Anyhow, so as I said, I'm going to be taking a break in a moment. Yep, we're almost there. And then we will finish, go through. I will show you everything that I've done, and we will end it and sell. So, and we're back for our final tour. As you can see, I bought a swimming pool. I put some chairs outside with tables and a plate with some grapes and cheese and bread and a couple glasses of wine. We've got The outside is finished. I did miss one little spot, but I left it. I'm sorry. And I don't think it really made that much difference to the selling price of the property. Besides, I can always do this one again, right? Sure. This is the driveway, and this leads into the lower part into the garage, and the upper part here to this is the main door. We've got an entryway, some purple shoes. I don't know why, a purple coat. Um, it is my favorite color. I don't know if I'd wear a purple coat, but anyway, we've got this cozy fireplace in the living room. We've got the TV over the fireplace. We've got a kitchen, and I think I showed you. Yeah, I show you that I did put stuff in here again. And I also show you that we put, yes, we did. We put popsicles in the freezer. That's all I put in the freezer. Would have been nice if we had like a gallon of ice cream or something. Pot on the stove, coffee maker, which you saw. There is a dishwasher in that kitchen. Dining room table with salt and pepper shakers, sugar bowl. And I had a little problem. Well, you'll see in a moment. I don't know why I'm sitting there quietly like that. Anyhow, okay. Lots of lights everywhere. I really kind of like the brick fireplace. I think it really worked out well. And I like the living room. I added a swing outside that overlooks the pool. There's the swimming pool down there. And then we have, as I said, this is the bathroom. And I really like this leaves wallpaper. I really like the way that it turned out. I also added some lights in there, which I didn't bother showing you. But anyway, this is a bedroom, obviously. Now, this is the one where I showed you could put carpet down on the floor, like wall-to-wall carpet. This is the other bedroom. There's two bedrooms on this house, and this one actually leads out onto the deck where the swing is, which is kind of nice. You could come out here in the evening and sit and watch people splash in the pool, or watch the deer come down from the woods and drink from the pool. I don't know. I doubt they'd drink from the pool. But anyway, there's two light switches in this room, one for the lamps and one for the overhead. And then keep getting lost in this house for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I should have knocked down some more walls. And that's the two bedrooms. Sorry about that. Keep running round and round in circles. I know there's a way down. Okay, so downstairs. Oh, come on. Tell that woman that she should be going downstairs. Oh, now we're selling. Can't believe I didn't show you the wonderful office I put in. Oh well, we'll have to do that one again next time. But you can see that Claudia Fox bid the most, and we're actually going to make a profit of over 400,000 whatevers. I was kidding around with Merck, and he said I should say that it was doubloons or pieces of eight. Anyway, so we're selling, and that is it for today. And you will remember, I hope, to leave a message for Merck in the comments. And the message just has to say chocolate for Merck. MERC, Merc. And if you would be so kind, I would surely appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, if you would like this video, and if you would share it with your friends and make comments. I really do want to hear from you. So that's it for today's video. And I will see you again on Thursday, at which point we will be starting a new property. I haven't decided yet. Maybe you could tell me in the comments also. Should I buy a house and flip it, or should I buy a cheap house, tear it down, and build a new one from scratch? Comment. Tell me. New house, flip house. Okay? Thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate all of my subscribers. This channel has grown a lot in 100 episodes, from 5 to over 100. So far be it from me to not appreciate you. Thank you so much. See you Thursday. Oh, and don't forget, next Sunday, there's going to be a video for St. Patrick's Day. Malzy and I are both flipping the closed restaurant, and we'll see what we come up with. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.